Hello students, how are you? Are you enjoying your vacation? We're going to continue our reading lesson. Last time, before the Christmas vacation, during the last week, we started a new reading lesson, right? What was the title of our new reading lesson? Yes, well done. The title of our new reading lesson is The Talent Show. Do you remember the question that I asked you before we started with the reading lesson? Yes, I asked you this question. How do your actions affect others? I asked you if our actions or if someone's actions can affect someone else. And you gave me examples. Let's just try to remember these examples that we said last time. We can move to page 33 to remember these examples. These are the examples that we wrote on page 33, and you gave me other examples as well, right? Okay, we're just going to remember these ones now. And I've explained last time that sometimes if you do something, it affects someone else, right? For example, if you do something nice to someone, this other person will feel happy, okay, of the thing that you did for him or for her. For example, if you help your mom with your dishes, if you help your mom with your dishes, the effect of that is that it will make my mom, his mom, or her mom, or your mom happy, right? So if you help your mom with the dishes, with cleaning the dishes, with washing the dishes, the effect of that is that it will make your mom happy. Another example that we gave is that I complimented my friend. Okay, if someone compliments his or her friend, what would the effect be? The effect is that my friend will tell me thank you, right? So my friend thanked me. Okay, another action or another example is that, for example, I picked up trash in the park. If I pick the trash in the park, what will happen? Of course, bravo. The park would look nicer, right? The park would look cleaner. So this is what we call action and effect. So our actions will lead to an effect. It's like a cause and effect relationship, right? So that's what we're going to focus on while reading the story. Please keep this point in your mind, okay? Keep this in your mind that we have actions and effects for these actions, okay? Keep it in your mind. And as I told you before, this story is a realistic fiction. What is a realistic fiction? This is the genre of our story. The genre of our story is realistic fiction. Let me explain the word realistic fiction. I've explained it in class, but I'm going to review it, okay? A realistic fiction is a made up story. A made up story means that wrote this story, someone made up this story from his or her mind, and it has characters, setting, events that could exist in real life. What do we mean by that? We mean that this story can happen in real life. It can happen with you. It can happen with me. It can happen with anyone. So it can be true. It can happen in your real life, and it includes dialogues. What do you mean by dialogue? I'm going to explain this word, okay? But more importantly, did you understand the meaning of realistic fiction? So the genre of our lesson is realistic fiction. Realistic fiction means it's a made-up story. It has characters, setting, events that could exist in real life, and it includes dialogues. And I'm going to explain this word dialogue. I've already explained it in class, but I'm going to re-explain it again, okay, as a revision. Now, what do we mean by a dialogue? What is a dialogue? A dialogue is like a group of sentences that show you what the characters say to each other. For example, Here the rabbit is saying, all right, let's race to the top of that mountain over there. Then the turtle says, okay, then let's have a race. This is a dialogue. The characters are speaking together. When you and someone else you are speaking with someone else about anything, this is a dialogue. For example, you're speaking with your mom. This is a dialogue, okay? So dialogues are important in short stories and they are important also in realistic fiction stories. They make the story more interesting to read. When you start reading dialogues in the story, when you find like there are lots of dialogues in the story, you feel like you're more attached to the story, you're more clinged to the story, you want to read more, right? So when you read the dialogues in the story, this makes the story more interesting, more fun to read. And they are really important to the short stories, as I told you. Okay, and we're going to look at some of them in our story. Let me show you some examples of dialogues in our story right here. For example, we have this dialogue here. Our act, I said, taking a tighter grip on my books. So here Tina is talking with Mora. This is a dialogue. They are talking together. Mora, what's our act going to be? Tina asked me. So this is a dialogue. Okay, or here, you want to do an act together? You see, the dialogue is usually put in quotations. We use quotation to mark the dialogue. What do you mean by a quotation? What is a quotation? This is a quotation. Here it is. You see it? Okay, there it looks like two commas, but it is not. It is a quotation, okay? So we usually put dialogues in quotations. So you want to do an act together? It'll be fun, Tina said. So this is a dialogue, okay? So did you understand the word dialogue? Last time we read this page, right? We read it. Now we're going to just remember what we read last time. And let me remind you also of the vocabulary words that we took last time. I've explained all the vocabulary words last time, but I'm going to go through them a little bit, okay? So that those who were absent uh, can just now understand them, okay? Now, for example, we have the word uncomfortably, hesitated. There is another word as well. As we said, hesitated. What do we have as well? Desperately. Okay, so these yellow words over here, these are the vocabulary words that we took last time in this reading page, right? Now, before I explain them, let me remind you of what we read last time. Last time we read about Tina and Mora, and we knew that there is a talent show in the school, and we understood that from the title, since the title is called The Talent Show. So, and you predicted that last time, right? You predicted that we're going to read about a girl who's going to participate in the talent show. And you told me a talent show is where people show their talent in front of an audience, right? A talent is something that you have and you're good at. For example, you are good at drawing. You like to draw, and your drawings are amazing. So you are talented. You have a talent, or you're good in football. You play football professionally. So you have a talent. This is a talent, right? So a talent is something that you're good at. And the talent show is where you go and show people this talent. And you have predicted that this girl in the picture here will participate in the talent show, and you said that she will juggle, right, with the balls, as we saw in the picture here. She's juggling. So maybe, yeah, maybe she's going to participate in the talent show and show us her talent, which is juggling. We're going to read and find out. And last time we read that Tina, uh, Tina knew that there is a talent show in her school, so she wanted to do juggling. Why did she choose juggling? Because her brother, her older brother, taught her juggling. So she's good at juggling. She wants to show people her talent, which is juggling. So this is her act for the show. However, suddenly her friend Tina came. Okay, did I say Tina before? I meant Mora. Okay, Mora wants to juggle, but Tina is Mora's best friend. Tina came to Mora. Mora wants to juggle in the talent show, but Tina came and um, didn't respect Mora's ideas, right? Because Tina asked Mora directly, what are we going to do together? However, Mora wants to do it alone. She doesn't want anyone to participate with her, even her best friend. She wants to do it alone. She wants to show her own talent. Okay, so she wants to show people her own talent. She doesn't want to do it with someone else. But Tina didn't ask Mora about that. She went and didn't ask Mora. She directly told her she was bossy and bossing around. She directly told Mora that they should do an act together because they read on the poster that this act can be individual, partner, small groups. Individual, I explained this word before. Individual means one, right? Partners means, like, for example, two people together. These are partners. And small groups. So Tina wants to do it as partners too. However, Mora wants to do it individually as one. Okay. So when Mora knew that Tina wants to do the act with her and didn't give her the chance to tell her no, I want to do it alone, she felt uncomfortable and she started gripping the books because she was angry, right? Because she was angry from Tina, who didn't respect her. She didn't respect her own ideas. She didn't even ask her, what should we do together? Tina thought that it will be fun if they do it together, but Mora doesn't want to do it with her. She wants to do it alone. Um, so, so Mora wants to tell Tina that she wants to do it alone. However, did she tell her? They told us that she hesitated. Hesitated means, as I told you before, that she wanted to tell her, then she stopped for a second, then she told her, I've got an idea. So she wanted to tell her her own idea. However, Tina interrupted her. She didn't let her continue, right? So she said, yeah, me too. Let's talk at lunch. So she told her, yeah, Tina, I have an idea as well. So Tina has an idea as well. And they're going to talk about it at lunch. During the math period, uh, Mora wanted to tell Tina her own ideas. She wanted to tell her about her own act. Since they are best friends, they can talk frankly to each other. They can be honest to each other and tell everything to each other, right? So don't you know that best friends, they tell secrets to each other, they tell everything to each other. So she should tell her. Do you think that she should tell her? Of course she should tell her. And they said here we should be able to see eye to eye about this. They should see eye to eye about this. What do you mean by see eye to eye about this? What do you mean by this sentence here? Is it really to look at each other eye to eye? It means to have the same opinion, to share their ideas together and have one opinion, the same opinion. So they should have the same opinion as each other, right? So not each we shouldn't they shouldn't just follow one opinion. They should think together and find one agreement and then they agree on it, right? So this sentence here is an idiom. We're going to explain idiom later on. Okay, now let me just continue summarizing what we read last time. However, as they said, Tina keeps being in charge. She always takes charge. She doesn't let Mora speak up. She doesn't give her the chance to tell everything she wants to say. She doesn't give her the chance to tell her own opinion. So Tina is always in charge. She's always in charge. However, Mora wants to do the act alone. She desperately wants to win. Desperately means she wants to try hard and do this difficult act alone. Okay, she wants to desperately win this talent show, but she wants to do it alone. More importantly, she wants to do it alone. She wants to win on her own. Why on her own? Because with she wants to do an act that's all hers. Okay, with an act that is all hers. Now let me just remind you of the vocabulary words quickly. The vocabulary words that we just read were hesitated, uncomfortably, and desperately. So let's start with the word hesitated. Let's listen to this word again.
Hesitated. The
Okay,
dog hesitated before jumping up to grab the food off the counter.
so what do you mean by the word hesitated? As I wrote for you in the vocabulary words, hesitated means to wait or stop when feeling unsure. So when you feel like you're unsure if you should do this or not, you hesitate. It means you stop for a moment, you pause for a moment, you wait for a moment, then you do the thing that you want to do. For example, here the dog hesitated before jumping up to grab the food off the counter. So he hesitated. He wanted to jump off the ground, to jump up to grab the food off the counter. However, he hesitated. He stopped. He waited. He paused. Okay, before he did that. The second word that we took is uncomfortably. Let's listen to this word again.
Uncomfortably. Sonia's throat felt uncomfortably sore. Uncomfortably. Uncomfortably means uneasily.
So as they said in the video, uncomfortably means uneasily. And as they said, for example, Sonia's throat is here, right, inside her neck. Sonia's throat felt uncomfortably sore. So she was uncomfortable. She's feeling uncomfortable. What's feeling uncomfortable? Her throat feeling uncomfortable. And she's feeling pain, right, in her throat. So, of course, she's feeling uncomfortably in pain. Okay? She's not feeling comfortable because her throat hurts. The third word is desperately. Let's listen to this word again.
Desperately. The woman was desperately trying to remember where she had left her keys.
So she's desperately trying to remember where she lost her keys. She's trying hard. She's trying hard to remember. So she's desperately trying to remember where she lost her keys.
Desperately. To act desperately means to try anything to change a hopeless situation.
So when you want to change something and you're trying desperately, it means that you're trying anything or trying hard to change or do or fix a difficult situation, right? Like for example, here she's looking for her keys, so she's trying desperately hard to change this and find the keys. Okay, now let's move on to our reading lesson. Okay, since now we remembered what we read last time and we remembered the vocabulary words that we took last time, we're going to start and do these questions. We didn't do them in class, so we're going to do them. They are easy and you're going to help me find them, right? Find the answers. So let's start with the first question, which has this title, dialogue. And I've explained dialogue just now, right? I told you dialogue is when there are two uh, or or more, two characters or more talking to each other. For example, here, you want to do an act together? It'll be fun, Tina said. So this is a conversation happening, between these two girls. This is called a dialogue. When two or more are talking together, this is a dialogue. And I told you usually we put the quotation, okay, between the sentences. Now, let's read the question. Circle the dialogue that shows that Tina likes to take charge. We should circle the dialogue, so we should find a dialogue, not a normal sentence, a dialogue that tells us that Tina is always taking charge. Which dialogue told us that or helped us know that Tina is always taking charge? We cannot say that here, the sentence here, which is Tina always takes charge. I don't speak up, and then I end up feeling resentful about the whole situation. Here, this sentence, Tina always takes charge. We cannot choose this sentence as the answer. Why? Because they want a dialogue, not a sentence like this. We should find a dialogue that says, that shows us that Tina is always in charge. Okay? How can you know that Tina is always in charge? Because of her bossy words. Can you find these bossy words, these bossy sentences, controlling sentence? She's always controlling her friend, Mora. Which sentence showed you that? Did you find the answer? Remember when Tina directly told Mora what's our act going to be? She said our. Do you remember when she said our? She didn't tell her, do you want to do it alone or should we do it together? She didn't ask Mora anything. She directly told her, what are we going to do together? So she didn't ask Tina. Remember here? Mora, what's our act going to be? Tina asked me. So this sentence here shows us that Mora is always in charge. She's always bossing around and controlling Mora. She doesn't let Mora speak up. So this sentence here shows us that Tina is always in charge, right? So we should circle this sentence. Okay, can you circle it? Circle this sentence in your books. Page 35. This is the answer. And if you have any question, please ask me. Okay, you can send me the answer. You can send me any question on eConnect. Now, let's move on to the second part of the question. Okay, what word would you use to describe Tina's behavior? Behavior means how she's acting. How can you describe Tina's actions, her behavior? How can you describe her behavior? Is she respectful? Is she respecting Mora's ideas? Or she's being irrespectful of others' ideas? Or is she controlling Mora's ideas and being bossy? She's being bossy, right? She doesn't ask Mora what should we do together. She doesn't ask her about Mora's ideas. She only cares about her own ideas. She doesn't ask Mora about her ideas. So she's selfish. She doesn't think of others. Yeah, she's selfish. She's bossy, right? And she's controlling. Controlling means that she always controls others. She always controls Mora. So Tina is always controlling Mora. She's always controlling Mora's ideas. She doesn't let Mora speak up. So we can describe Tina's behavior as what? Is it a nice behavior? No, of course not. Is it a respectful behavior? No, it's an irrespectful behavior actually. But we should say that behavior, we should answer a complete sentence. We cannot quickly write bossy and controlling. No, we should write a full sentence, a complete sentence, right? Tina's behavior is bossy because she keeps bossing around. She's being like the boss, right? Her behavior is controlling. And she's also what? What did we say? And her behavior is also selfish because she doesn't think about about Mora and Mora's ideas. She doesn't care, right? Or maybe she cares, but she only has to ask. Okay, let's move on to the second question here. And this question here has a small heading, which is problem and solution. And of course, you know what we mean by problem and solution. Problem is the problem that happens in the story, and the solution is what happens at the end to fix this problem. So let's read the question. Underline the problem that Mora faces. We should underline the problem that Mora is facing. What was the problem that Mora is facing? You can find the problem here at the end. Of course, you know her problem. Her problem is that her friend doesn't let her speak up, right? Her problem is that here it is. Can you find the answer? You can find the answer easily in the text. If you search for it, if you search for it, well, you can find it. The problem, here it is, right? So the problem is Tina always takes charge. I don't speak up, and then I end up feeling resentful about the whole situation. So we should underline this sentence, right? Okay, so please underline this sentence. The problem is Tina always takes charge. I don't speak up, and then I end up feeling resentful about the whole situation. Underline this sentence because in this sentence we knew that Mora has a problem, and her problem is that Tina always takes charge. Now let's move on to the second part of the question. What inference can you make about Mora? What do you mean by inference? Inference means conclusion. What can you conclude about Mora? What can you say about Mora? What did you conclude about Mora? Did you conclude that Mora is courageous? No, she's not. She's not brave because she didn't speak up. Did you conclude that Mora is shy? Maybe she's shy. But did you conclude that Mora cannot speak up? Yeah, we concluded that Mora cannot speak up and she cannot say what she wants to say. Yeah, it happens usually with us sometimes. Don't you feel sometimes that you want to say something but you don't say it? Right? Mora is feeling that all the time. She's always like she wants to say something, but she doesn't say it. So, Mora, you should conclude, you should say, I concluded that Mora is not good or is bad at saying what she wants to say. So, let's write the answer. Mora, or the inference, or my inference is that, because it's your inference, my inference is that, because we should answer a complete answer. My inference is that Mora is not good at saying what she wants to say, right? So please write this on your book on page 35. Can you write it? Pause the video for 1 minute and write it. Okay, so Stop the video for 1 minute and write it. Now we're going to move on to page 36 and we're going to read it, right? Okay. Before we read it, let me explain these new vocabulary words that we didn't take yet. So I'm going to explain these vocabulary words first. I'm going to start with the word inspiration. Let's go to the word inspiration. Okay, inspiration. Listen to this word again.
Inspiration. The girl found inspiration for her drawing in nature.
Okay, inspiration. What do you mean by the word inspiration? I've explained it in class, and I told you that inspiration is a person or thing that stirs the mind, feelings, or imagination. It's something or it's a person that can change or stir or affect. Stirs means like affects your mind or affects your feelings. For example, here the nature is affecting this girl. The girl found inspiration for her drawing in nature. She took inspiration from where? From the beautiful view of the nature. So this affected the girl, okay? It helped her draw. She took inspiration from the beautiful nature. Now the second word that we're going to take now is humiliated. Let's go to the word humiliated. And we're going to listen to it again.
Humiliated. Sarah felt humiliated when she forgot her lines. Humiliated. To be humiliated means to be made to feel ashamed or foolish.
Okay, so humiliated is when you feel ashamed or foolish because someone made you, okay, or something made you feel like you're ashamed or foolish. For example, here they said that Sarah felt humiliated. She felt humiliated when she forgot her lines. So when she was like maybe in a play and she was saying her lines, or in the class she was saying her lines, but suddenly she forgot them. So this this humiliated her. Maybe her friends started laughing at her, so it humiliated her. Let's move on to the second word. To the third word. The third word is accountable. What do you mean by the word accountable? I've explained it before. Who remembers? Okay, those who don't remember, I'm going to help you remember. Accountable. Accountable means, let's listen to this word again.
Accountable. Sam is held accountable for washing his dog.
So Sam is accountable for washing his dog. It means that he's responsible. Okay, accountable means to be responsible. It means when you are responsible for something. Maybe Sarah is responsible or is accountable for washing the dishes. So she's the one who's going to take care of this thing. And here Sam is taking care of the dog. He's responsible for the dog. Okay, now we're going to start with this reading page. We're going to read this page 36. Did you open your book, page 36? Okay, open it and let's start. Okay, let's start reading. Before I start reading, I want you to listen to the audio reading, then I will read and explain each part, okay? Okay, listen carefully, okay?
At lunch, Tina started talking as soon as we sat down. I have it all planned out. My inspiration came from that new TV show. You've got talent. We can sing along to a song and do a dance routine, and my mother can make us costumes. Yeah, that's good, I said, but I had another idea. I told her about my juggling act. Tina considered it. Nah, I don't think I can learn to juggle in 3 weeks, and I'd probably drop the ball, she said. We don't want to be humiliated, right? At recess, I ran around the track a couple of times just to let off steam. When my grandmother picked me up after school, she drove a few minutes and finally said, "Cat got your tongue?" I explained about the talent show as she listened carefully. So Tina is not being respectful of your ideas. But it sounds as if you aren't either.
Okay, sorry.
What? I shouted. When my grandmother picked me up after school, she drove a few minutes and finally said, "Cat got your tongue?" I explained about the talent show as she listened carefully. So Tina is not being respectful of your ideas. But it sounds as if you aren't either. What? I shouted. I told Tina her idea was good. No, said my grandmother. I said that you weren't respectful of your own ideas, or you would have spoken up. I understand that you're friends, but you're still accountable for your own actions.
Now I'm going to read and explain, okay? So follow up in your book on your books. Page 36, follow up. And if you have any question, please ask me on eConnect. I'm going to start reading each paragraph and explaining it, okay? Follow up with me. At lunch, Tina started talking as soon as we sat down. So during lunchtime, Tina and Mora, they sat down, both of them sat down, and Tina directly started talking. She started talking quickly. As usual, she doesn't give anyone a chance to talk. She talks quickly and she doesn't give anyone a chance. I have it all planned out. My inspiration came from that new TV show, You've Got Talent. So Tina said that she has planned everything. She has planned everything. So she has a plan. What's her plan? Let's read out. Let's read and find out. Before we read and find out, she took the inspiration. Inspiration, as I told you, it's something that stirs your mind or your feelings, right? So something affected Tina's mind. Something affected Tina's mind or stirred her mind. What was that? The TV show. You've Got Talent. So when she was watching TV, she got an inspiration from the TV, from the show which is called You've Got Talent. So she took an idea maybe from it. So let me continue reading and we're going to find out. We can sing along to a song and do a dance routine, and my mother can make us costumes. Okay, so here Tina told Mora that now that they can sing together and do a dance routine together. So for the talent show, Tina wants Mora and wants herself also as well. She wants to do an act which includes singing and dancing, right? Okay. So so do you think that Mora will accept? Will she dance and sing as Tina said for the talent show? And she told her that Tina's mom will make for them costumes. You know, costumes mean the clothes that you wear while doing, for example, something, or a uniform that you wear. Okay, so Tina's mom will do the costumes. Okay, will make the costumes. Yeah, that's good, I said. So Mora told Tina, yeah, that's good. But does she really like it? Like the idea? She said it's good, but do you think that she means really it's good? She's gonna dance and sing? But I had another she told her, she continued and said, but I had another idea. I told her about my juggling act. So Mora spoke up. She did speak up now. Uh-huh. She told her that she has another idea. She told her that she wants to juggle, so she wants to do an acting and juggling act. Okay, juggling means playing with the balls, the act that I showed you on the first page. Tina considered it. Tina considered it means she thought about it for a while. So Tina thought about this idea. Okay, she started thinking about this idea. Nah, I don't think I can learn to juggle in 3 weeks, and I'd probably drop the balls, she said. So Tina said, no, nah, I don't think that I can learn to juggle in 3 weeks. She told her, I'm not gonna learn how to juggle in 3 weeks because juggling needs practice, right? Do you know how to juggle in just one day? Will you know how to juggle? No, of course not. You need weeks. So Tina told her, nah, I cannot do that because I cannot learn how to juggle in 3 weeks, and I'd probably drop the balls. And she said that she will probably humiliate herself and drop her balls. We don't want to be humiliated, right? So she told her, do you want us to be humiliated if they drop the balls, for example, if they are doing the talent show, doing the act on the talent show and sing and playing with the balls, juggling on the stage. And for example, Tina's balls fall down. What will happen? She will feel humiliated because everyone will laugh at her, maybe, right? And she's gonna feel like ashamed and foolish. At recess, I ran around the track a couple of times just to let off steam. So during recess time, she started running around the track. She started to run around the track, way in the playground, a couple of times just to let off steam. So why did she run? This sentence here, I ran around the track, helps us know what does to let off steam means. What does it mean? To let off steam means not it means to get rid of the anger. So because she's angry, because Mora is angry, she started running. When you start making sport, doing sport and running around, you will feel more comfortable. Okay, your anger will you will throw anger away. Okay, you will not feel angry anymore. Maybe if Mora doesn't run, she will blow up and scream, maybe, right, in front of Tina's face. But instead of that, she started running so that she get rid of all the anger inside of her. When my grandmother picked me up after school, she drove a few minutes and finally said, so who came to pick up Mora after school? Yes, bravo, her grandmother came to pick her after school. Cat got your tongue. So grandma told Mora, did the cat catch your tongue? Get your tongue? What does grandma means by that? What does she mean by this sentence? Cat got your tongue. Does she really mean that the cat came and took Mora's tongue and ate her tongue, maybe? No, this is an idiom, and I'm going to explain idioms, don't worry, okay? So, this is an idiom. An idiom is a sentence that you say, but you don't mean the exact word, you don't mean it in this meaning exactly. It has another meaning, okay? So it means here, cat got your tongue means that the cat ate her tongue means that she's not speaking, right? Mora is not speaking. So grandma told her, did the cat eat your tongue? That's why you're not speaking? Did the cat eat your tongue? Okay, let me continue. I explained about the talent show as she listened carefully. So she started to listen carefully. Grandma started listening carefully. More, Mora started telling her about everything about the talent show. So Tina is not being respectful of your ideas, but it sounds as if you aren't either. So grandma told Tina that the grandma told Mora, sorry, okay, grandma is telling Mora, not Tina. So grandma is telling Mora that Tina is not respecting Mora's ideas. She's not respecting her ideas. Why she's not respecting them? Because she didn't accept Mora's ideas. She doesn't want to do as Mora said. She only wants to do the thing that she wants to do, to dance and sing. And she didn't care about Mora's idea. Did she care about Mora's ideas? No, she didn't. And not just that. Also, she told her that Mora herself is not respecting her own ideas. What? I shouted. I told Tina her idea was good. So Mora felt surprised. She told her grandma, "What? No, I told Tina her idea was good." "No," said my grandmother. "I said that you weren't respectful of your own ideas, or you would have spoken up." So Grandma told Mora, I always say Tina, but it's Mora, okay? So Grandma told Mora that uh, Mora is not respecting her own ideas. What did Grandma mean by that? What does she mean by that? She means that Mora is not speaking up. If you don't speak up and say your own ideas and say what you think of, this means that you're not respecting your own ideas. Because if you respect your own ideas, you should speak up and say them, right? So that's what Grandma told Mora. I understand that you are your friends, but you're still accountable for your own actions. So she told her that she knows that they are friends, and friends don't usually get sad from each other. They usually listen to each other, but you're still accountable. So even though you are friends and you do the same, for example, Mora is doing as Tina's saying because they are friends and she's not speaking up. Although she's doing that because they are friends, but however, she should be accountable of her own actions. What do you mean by accountable? Accountable means respectful, right? So she should respect her own ideas. How did we know that this accountable means respectful? We knew that it means respectful from this sentence here, right? From the context clues. Here, this sentence helped us know that accountable means respectful. I said that you weren't respectful of your own ideas, or you would have spoken up. Okay, so you see when they said here the word respectful, here this sentence here helped us know that accountable means respectful. Okay, so what do you think will happen later on? Will Mora listen to her grandma and go speak up and tell Tina everything she wants to do? Or will Mora ignore everything and follows Tina and let Tina control her all the time? Will she accept Tina's ideas and sing and dance in the talent show, or will she do juggling alone by herself? What do you think will happen? I want you to predict. Predict means to guess. To guess what would happen later on. What will happen later on? Please try to guess, okay? Okay. Before I finish up, I'm going to explain the word idiom because while we were reading, we read two idioms here in this page, and we read another idiom in the previous page. What do you mean by idiom? And I told you the meaning of idiom quickly in the class. On page 38, they explain the meaning of idioms. Idioms are phrases that have a meaning different from the meaning of each word in the phrase. So idioms are phrases. Phrases means sentences, like sentences, okay? Uh, Sorry, it's not exactly a sentence, it's a group of words. Okay, so idiom is a group of words, phrase means a group of words that have a meaning different from the meaning of each word in the phrase. Idiom is a phrase that has a different meaning from the meaning of each word in the phrase. So for example, in Arabic, don't you say this idiom? You say, for example, uh, kill one bird with two stones. Don't you say that? Okay. What do you mean by kill one bird with two stones? Do you mean by that you're going to really kill one bird, kill two birds with one stone? Sorry, kill two birds with one stone. Does it really mean that you're going to throw a stone on a bird and let it die? No, this is an idiom because it doesn't really mean, it doesn't have really this meaning. It has a different meaning, okay, from the meaning of each word in this phrase. You mean by that when you say the kill two birds with one stone, it means that you're going to do two things through one thing, okay? So it has a different meaning. And during when we were reading, we saw lots of idioms. For example, here, remember when they said to see eye to eye, and I told you it means that they should have one agreement, one opinion. It means, it doesn't mean like see eye to look at each other and in the eye, look at each other's eyes. No, it means like to say to have one opinion, okay, an agreement. They agree and have one opinion. So during the reading these two pages, we met lots of idioms, right? Let me give you examples of some idioms. Here, when Grandma said, "Cat got your tongue," did it really mean that did the cat eat your tongue? Did it really mean that a cat came and took Mora's tongue and cut her tongue or ate her tongue? No, it doesn't mean like the cat came and ate Mora's tongue. No, it means that why are you silent? Why aren't you speaking? So instead of telling Mora, why aren't you speaking? She told her, did the cat eat your tongue? You're not speaking? Okay, so this is an idiom, right? Or we have another idiom when they said here, let me just put it here. Okay, let me just put this. Okay, here remember when they said to let off steam? To let off steam, does it really mean to let the steam get out, for example, of your body? For those who don't know the meaning of steam, this is the steam, you know it? The vapor that comes out of hot things. Okay, this is the steam. So does it really mean that the steam will get out of Mora's body? No, it doesn't mean that. What do you mean by to let off steam? To let off steam means to let anger get out of your body. If you're angry, you want to get rid of your anger, to throw your anger, to remove the anger from your mind, from your body, from your thinking, from everything inside of you. Okay, to not feel angry anymore. So to not feel angry anymore, what did Mora do? Mora started running, right, in the field. So this is an idiom, and I'm going to explain idiom next time more. So I want you to read this page again at home, okay? And if you have any question, ask me on eConnect. That's it for today. Okay, goodbye.